help for the movie that we were talking about is to reach out to the community and have people help for the score.
Nice.
Like, you guys send a song, we'll send a song, we'll make a song. Like, maybe the song could help write the scene. Because I'm still writing it.
Gotcha,
you know
nice.
I'm in the brainstorming stage, so maybe the music that somebody sends in could help me write the scene.
Yeah,
and then vice versa. You know, and make it like a big collaboration project.
Yeah, that's super. We've been just talking about like what's the magic of the sync? How do you get
the sync
stuff,
deal?
You know,
Yeah.
sync deals and get your stuff in
Oh
movies.
yeah, well no, so I know how to do all of that stuff too. So
yeah,
you have to get into different libraries, sync libraries.
Yeah.
To submit to them. Once you're on DistroKid and you have all your stuff copywritten, it's very easy from there.
Gotcha. Well, that helps.
You have to go through a submittal process. The thing when it comes to sync licensing is it can take anywhere from 3 months to 6 to 9 before any of your songs get picked.
Gotcha.
But once they do, if you get into a library, well, there's two different ways. Like you have somebody pick your stuff, and they directly want to use it for their movie, their commercial, whatever, or you get into a library. So it's somebody who generally collects all of them. They'll say, okay, here, we would love to use your song. We're going to offer this to you.
Gotcha.
And then that way you have a wider reach, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So if you guys ever need help with that, I can help
No,
you with
for sure,
some
yeah.
libraries and stuff.
Like,
too.
I don't know if you've ever watched the show Ragnarok on Netflix.
No.
It's a Scandinavian show.
Okay.
It's like, basically, it's like this kid, like, gets bestowed with powers, and he slowly over the series realizes he's Thor.
Oh, I love
and then his brother turns out to also be Loki, and it's a whole, like, retelling of the kind of Norse mythology kind of thing, like in a modern kind of context. Anyway, definitely recommend checking out the show, but I bring it up because, like, when I was first writing We Are the Renegades, I first laid the track down. Before I put any of the lyrics down, it was just coming up with a track in the arpeggio and stuff like that. I'm like, this track would be really awesome in Ragnarok.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's how all of our songs started. Like our one song, Murder, Death, Kill. We were obsessively watching cyberpunk
each other.
movies.
We're gonna go into all the
And,
stuff for chicks.
Alrighty.
All right.
Stuff for chicks.
Well, I might have to check out some of that stuff too.
We
I think that little red number would look really cute on me. Actually.
I have some little dresses like this that I ordered, and I'm gonna have to get them all out so you can try them on.
All right. Anyway.
But anyway, we were obsessively watching cyberpunk movies and documentaries and stuff, and we were watching Demolition Man. And there's the scene where they're like, murder, death, kill, 187. And I was like, oh man. And then one day I was just like walking in the house and the lyrics came to me. And I was like, let's go downstairs.
Nice.
And it's just like 5 minutes and we wrote
Nice.
it. And then the other stuff, like it usually comes to me from like a sample or something, or I watch a movie and I'll just start writing a little lick or something like that. And it starts to come to life and the story starts to come out. I'm strange though. I can't write a song, like a finished song, unless there's a story.
Right, yeah.
Like I can write riffs, I can write ditties, I can jam, but unless I have like my story and I know where I want to go with it, I can't finish the song.
Yeah.
You know?
God, yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like, I at least have to have like a concept of what the song is to some extent. Like, I have to like know, okay, this is kind of about this is kind of about that, or sometimes it'll just come to me. I'll just be working on something, and the concept will come a little bit later, but it has to come some point, like in the process, especially before the lyrics. Any lyrics come in, I got to know what the hell this song even is.
Right.
You know?
Like, oh, what am I saying?
Yeah. So. Yeah. But so does it always like? How often is it that it comes to you as a sample first, and then you build a song on that, or do you build a song and then a sample comes in, or?
I don't know. I'd say it's about even with that because sometimes I like to sample like ourselves. Like she'll play something and she'll not be knowing that I'm recording it, and then she'll be like, I hate it, and I'll like flip it and reverse it and like put like effect on it, and she'll be like, oh, that sample's cool. I'm like, yeah, it is cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
totally.
But I don't know. That's a good question. I'd say for like half and half. Like half of the stuff like. We were watching a movie or something, or like I just heard something and I was like, ooh, I need to steal that. And that's going to spark this. And then other times we've written songs and the song like told us what it was going to be. You know what I mean? Like, our one song, Disengage, it's going to be, I'm going to start a new thing on the channel called Metal Mondays where I'm going to write new songs out of random drum beats. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remix one of our songs that's not released yet. And that song was one of those songs. We wrote it, and then as we were like mixing it and everything, we were like, man, this reminds me of Hellraiser, like Pinhead. So we grabbed all the Pinhead samples we could and threw them in there, and then that's how we wrote the lyrics. Because we wrote the music, and we're like, I'm like, I can't think of lyrics. I don't know what this is yet. What is it? Like, what is this going to be? And then that sample came, and it was like, oh yes, that's what this is. Done.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
What about for you guys? What about?
Yeah, it definitely, like, our music actually up until the last couple albums was very like sample based. Like I would try and find like old like royalty free like sample libraries and kind of build around like this guitar part or this whatever. Like nothing that's like copyrighted, but like absolutely. Stuff that is in kind of public domain, and that would be how I structure songs. But very recently, I've been getting very into MIDIs and synths and stuff like that, and just in recent months bought our first hardware synth, and that's become kind of the star of not only like the music writing process, but also playing live. Like before, I would play some live bass, and she has an electric cello.
Okay.
Both instruments we may put back into the fold at some point, but right now the setup is just so much easier with like the laptop and the synth, and you can focus more on the performance, because that's the whole kind of thing. Is like you kind of have to balance being a musician and also being a performer. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you want to give people an experience.
Yeah. Exactly.
So how do I balance that in the day and age of auto-tune? And I hate to say it, a lot of musicians nowadays, a lot of them aren't even really playing. A lot of people are pantomiming stuff.
Right.
So it's like in that day and age where there's all this like manufactured stuff for you to still be yourself and stand out. Any way to make it easier on yourself, to be able to perform at your best.
Exactly. Yeah. I never want to like Milli Vanilli like the stuff and like act like I'm playing something that I'm not actually playing at that point.
No.
But I do want to be adding something to it, and you have some idea what it is that I'm adding to the track at that point.
Exactly.
But also like again bringing just that performance, not having to worry too much about am I hitting the right note at this point, that kind of thing.
Well, that was the one weird balance with the Dallas stuff. Because like a lot of it, a lot of stuff that we were streaming because we were writing the set at that time was being done live. But like nowadays when I'm just playing it, it's not, because it's already programmed, it's already done. It's more of how I'm arranging it and like what effects I'm putting on it. That's the live improvisation. And then I do have a keytarist for what you were saying. For those times when I just want to add something. Like I've already got my good song going here. Mm-hmm. It's solid. I can add my flavor to it. But when I want to add that little sweet spot, I've got that to go. So it was finding that balance of that. Because like with the dollar stuff, you could want to do too much.
Yeah.
I could always be turning a knob because I've got to impress because I'm not playing a guitar. But it's that nice balance.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I'll tell you something you probably maybe don't know about me. Is because you've heard a lot of our recent stuff, and it's very kind of like poppy and kind of like melodic and stuff like that. But I see I know you are a big metalhead. You're very into like the metal stuff and the hard stuff. I actually not only kind of like started in punk and like the hard, heavy kind of stuff like that, but also I used to host a metal radio show in town, a local metal show. So like I know who Chelsea Grin is. I know I know a lot of these bands. I have knowledge of that stuff too.
That's awesome.
But recently it's just felt like this is an avenue we haven't gone in yet. The whole poppy like actually try and sing. You know what I mean? Like that kind of started happening with the U.S. stuff. It's like that was a little experimental industrial when we first started. And then it's gotten just kind of more. It's gotten more melodic and poppy as time has gone on, and only recently have I been like, "What the hell do we even classify ourselves as?" And our producer's like, "You're a pop band. You play pop music." I'm like, "Holy shit, you're right."
Well, there we go.
It's like that. So but I guess. Like I've heard of some of the Helix Code stuff, but like what genre would you classify it as? Because
so that early stuff I would very much say is more like industrial, but like I say evil disco.
Evil disco,
because, nice. Because like you want to dance, you want to scream, you want to fight, but the stuff that we're going towards nowadays, like I've always loved pop music, and I've never been scared of that. Like I love Justin Timberlake. I love
for sure, yeah.
The Backstreet Boys. I love.
My producer was like, "Dude, you need to listen to some JT."
Hey man, it'll open your mind.
Yeah,
I
totally.
love that stuff, and I love music that combines the two. So I played in metal bands for years, but then when pop punk got really big in the early 2000s, that's what the band that I was signed with was doing, was pop punk and like the metal core. So it was like metal with pop choruses.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I've always had that in my blood.
Gotcha.
So now it's now I'm been really focused on trying to get that pop element. I struggle when it comes to writing lyrics. Like I know I can sing and stuff, but when it comes to like writing, putting the words out, it takes me a long time.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm learning now.
But
that's the avenue I'd like to go. Is more industrial pop. That's what I'd say. I want to do an industrial pop. I want the heaviness and the grit of heavier industrial music, but I want the pop feel, and I want the pop choruses. I want that that communal thing, you know.
That's cool. That sounds really interesting new kind of avenue to take. It's always cool when you can find that thing of like, let me combine this, like put peanut butter on a hot dog and see what that tastes like, you know, like, like things you wouldn't expect to go together, and they go together quite well. Yeah, for sure. And it's funny you talk about, you know, writing lyrics. Because writing lyrics usually takes me forever because I'm trying to find just the right words to express the thing. But recently I just kind of locked into the kind of groove, especially on a few tracks on our recent album. I was like, okay, stop overthinking it. Just feel, don't think. Sometimes I think us as writers, as creators, not only are we super critical of our own work, but also we think that, you know, our words especially need to measure up to everything else that's ever been written. We need to write Shakespeare or something like that. And it doesn't need to be that complex. It's just what feels true to the emotion you're trying to express.
That's the number one thing that I've been trying to nail into myself nowadays. And then I go back and I listen to all, like, I do my homework, you know, and I listen to all the artists that inspired me. And the thing I noticed the most is these guys just don't care. They're just writing what they feel. That's what I've started to like really pick up on. Like a lot of the times you're like, man, these dudes get the balls on these people. They just don't care. They're just writing whatever, just go with it.
Yeah.
Even songs are like, that verse was kind of like,
Yeah,
you know, but,
right.
But of course, exactly. It's baller. But it's like, damn, you got the balls to do it. So that's what's been inspiring me to just like you said, just go with what am I feeling? What am I trying to say? Let me just say.
Yeah.
You know.
Gotcha. So I think we talked about this a little bit. Not sure how much I captured on here yet, but you were saying you want to expand as far as like creating like label and distribution channels and stuff like that. Like I guess talk to me a little bit more about that. Like what is your big vision for what you're doing? Yeah,
so the vision for Outworld, as of now, it was to build a collective and a community, a place where all us underground and independent artists could come together and hang out. I remember when I was growing up and playing in the underground music scene, like we had that community, you had that sense of togetherness. We're in this together. Like I wasn't in a place where people were out for each other. Like, oh, my band's better than yours. It was like we're all out here trying to do this. Let's get this together. So I wanted to create that again, and we've gotten that. So now it's like, okay, well, what more can we do? How can we grow this more? How can we get more attention onto people and onto this music? So yeah, and I've learned a lot of people don't really know much about distribution, or like we were talking before about how to get into sync licensing, or even how to do music videos, how to, like I was talking with GJ, he doesn't even know how to actually get paid for his covers that he does. And like there's, okay, well I didn't realize people didn't know that. So like that's something that we can help out with. And then we want to get into doing CD distribution, getting into physical media, maybe even cassettes, and offering that for a lower price, because a lot of people are only 200. You want to order 200 of them? There you go. No, we'll help everybody out. And then from there, maybe even to do like old school mix CDs where we get like everybody that's a part of Outworld to write a specific song that we can put together, and then we could market that as a whole. As long as everybody's okay with it, I would put the money into marketing it so that, you know, everybody gets paid for their individual song. We wouldn't take anything. It would just be for the what we're putting into it for like marketing and stuff like that. But that way we could draw everybody to everybody's YouTubes, everybody's music, get it on all the Spotify playlists that we can, like bump it out there and really like try. And I've done a lot of research and work with YouTube and like the catchy algorithm stuff. And I'd like to, like, I'm going to start doing it with Colt Vex. He and I are going to start to try to market his music in a different way to bring more attention and make like visualizer videos and really cool, fun, like catchy stuff, and putting it as like an ad. So like when people go to a video, you know, like you get that ad that comes up, like popping up that music. So hey, damn, what is that? Let me check that out. Like trying different things. So I'd like to grow to where we can, you know, we can get this music out there and get stuff heard.
That sounds awesome. All that sounds like incredible. And I mean, of course, you know, I'm a part of the Outworld Sounds community. Both Julia and I are. And it's just been so awesome just from the get-go, because like I just, you know, found you guys on this little like podcast directory. I forget even how it was. Like you guys were listed somewhere, and like, you know, you're trying to distribute to everywhere you can and submit to podcasts and radio and whoever. And I saw like, this looks interesting. I'll submit to this. And on the first show when we submitted Alien Life, which is maybe our poppiest song ever, first it was like just a bunch of like really hard, heavy industrial stuff, and I'm like, are they gonna like our stuff? Like, I didn't know. I was really nervous about it, but then like you guys like took to it like ducks to water, and I was just like really impressed with how like encouraging and awesome people were, and there was no like negativity or bullshit, and it was great.
I love that, man. It makes me so happy to hear, because that's what the whole dream was. And I always try to say it all the time when we're on the stream, because I never want to limit, because I know we get a lot of certain types of music, and I'm always like, no, we just love music. Whatever you make, send it to us. We don't care what it is. It's Outworld Sounds. You can be from frickin' Jupiter. Let me know what that sounds like. What is it, like some boom bop, like, you know, reggaeton rap stuff? Who knows? Let's do it. Like, you know,
Reggaeton from Ganymede.
Yeah, right? Hey, why not? But that's why I love your guys' stuff. I love that just anybody that's not scared to just be themselves and make your own staple and put your own mark on something. You know what I mean? That's the funnest stuff. We can get all the synth wave that sounds cookie cutter all the time, or you know, any other style of music, even metal. That's why I stopped playing metal, because a lot of metal started sounding the same.
Yeah.
It all started sounding the same. Everybody's guitar tones the same. All the lyrics are the same.
That was kind of why I kind of got out of metal myself. It's like I've heard all of this. Do something new.
Exactly. Like, so it's fun to have a place where we can just get every type of thing and just see where it takes us.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, you know. Hopefully, if we do wind up getting into like filmmaking and other types of content like that, because I'd love for us to get into like making music videos for people, but to really do filmmaking, that would be really cool. And I would love for the score to just be so eclectic, from like all different styles of music, and just like the movie, it takes you for a ride.
Yeah. 100%. Like that sounds like so cool, and I love what you were saying earlier about the cassette tape thing, because I was definitely thinking of for this past album for Renegades of the Portal, I was like, should we make a limited edition like run of cassettes? So I may be hitting you up about that in the coming months. So,
man, definitely. Yeah. And I mean, I love what you guys did with that. I love the story. How did that come about?
You.
How did all of that come about? Did you guys have the dream?
It's been kind of developing. Our last album was kind of all about, it was called Regeneration. It was all about change and transformation. We were both going through a big transformation in our lives, and it kind of, for some reason, just kind of took on this mythological element, and we created these characters. Like I thought about this rock star who's trying to bring his dead like rock star idol back to life through himself.
Love it.
And Juliet had been kind of developing this kind of like shamanistic kind of persona, the Empress, and it kind of took on
It's an archetype.
kind of an archetype, and so
My Intercell character.
it just kind of developed from there, and it kind of became the story about travelers from another dimension who land here and, you know, are trying to figure out this existence and find other travelers like ourselves. It just kind of took on this kind of mythology, because we've always felt out of place. We've always felt kind of freakish and kind of, you know, not like we didn't really have a place that was really ours. Like we have to kind of make it. And so it just kind of, we just kind of go with it. And I've always been into sci-fi, you know, both of us big, you know, Star Wars nerds. Like I've always had that in my blood, and big into like, big into like Doctor Who and all kinds of stuff. And it's just embracing that as part of it, and just being like, you don't need to compartmentalize it into this is music, this is whatever.
Exactly. I love that. I love that you just said that, because it doesn't need to be. It's just art.
Yeah.
It's just art. It's whatever you want it to be. However you're going to express the emotion, because it's movies, music, art. You're just expressing an emotion.
Yeah.
You're trying to connect.
Exactly.
I feel like art is just a different language. I'm just trying to communicate with you.
Yep.
Oh wow, that was beautiful way you put that. That was awesome.
It's awesome.